Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Wild and Wingless, the weekend wrap up. After the first one we did last week, seemed to get a lot of response from you guys in the inboxes and so forth. So yeah, thanks very much for showing your support. And this is what you guys want. We'll keep on trying it, and yeah, we'll see how we go. I need to do a huge shout out and a thank you to the people that helped me make this possible. And one of those people are Ink and Tea Custom Printed Apparel. I really do appreciate all the work they do for me, Michaela Darcy. She pretty much easy to work with. Send her a design. She prints it off on t-shirts. She even runs a store for you. So if a lot of the teams out there who don't really want to go and invest hundreds of dollars into screen printing shirts, and you want to get your whole crew a shirt and your parents, your in-laws, whatever the case may be, go ahead to check out Ink and Tea Custom Printed Apparel on Facebook. There you can send your designs through, and it's very simple. Michaela will make up your shirts. She'll set up a Shopify little page for you guys, so therefore everyone can log in. They can buy this stuff. You don't have to worry about shipping. You don't have to worry about none of that stuff. That team do it for you, and you can focus on your race car, getting it ready for the next round. So a huge shout out and a thank you to Ink and Tea Custom Printed Apparel. Michaela, I do appreciate everything you do. All right, let's get into it today. So as we're aware, this weekend was a pretty light weekend for racing. We're just starting to come into the 24-25 season, and I tell you what, we've had now 3 races that I've sort of been aware of. I mean, I'm not counting all the ones in Darwin, but and things are starting to heat up already. It's been great. So Toowoomba Hi-Tec Oil Speedway had their first round for the Queensland Wingless Club. 20 cars, 20 drivers attended that race meeting, which I thought was pretty good considering obviously first round of the season. Remember, we've got 2 rules that have just come into play here. One obviously being the Kids in Pits vest program, and the other one is the no driving in the pits for wingless. So you've got to be pushed or use a quad. Um, Now, I do appreciate everyone reaching out to me and telling me their feelings or whatnot on the rules. By all means, keep it coming. This is how I get educated. I don't know everything, so I do value your input. But just remember, I'm not the person that makes the rules, okay? So as much as I don't mind you guys firing off at me, just remember there's only so much I can do. I can just talk about it. That's it. So let's break down to 2 things. The feedback I got back from the no driving quad slash pushing cars around the pit area was a positive one. There was a lot of naysayers, a lot of people were sort of a bit skeptical about it, and I'm aware of it. As soon as we have change, a lot of us don't like it. I mean, yeah, a lot of us don't like change. But it seemed like the Queensland Wingless Club and the drivers, teams, that sort of stuff, you all banded together, you made it happen, and it pretty much ran faultless. So hats off to you guys for doing that. And I think the initiative, which then allowed the second part of the new rules that we saw implemented, which was the Kids in Pits vest program, that was a success. So some people who sort of reached out to me and told me, "Oh, look, I'm not too sure how this is going to go. This might make it, might turn bad for the sport, whatnot." It sounds like by them seeing the smiles on those kiddies' faces and the fact that the kids were able to hang with their parents of the course of the night, it even helped Dad, tie up a wheel nut, whatever the case may be. It just made the sport that little bit more family friendly, and that's what we all want. So it's a lot easier when you guys are packing up a race car late at night and the kids are already tucked away in the back of the car asleep, than having your better half bringing them into the pit area, trying to carry them while they're sleeping, and she's not happy with you, and it's just a mess, and the kids are crying. I think this is a great move. So it sounds like it was a success. I did have some chats with some people across the country over the course of the weekend. Just sort of mentioned that because that is a hot topic a lot of people want to talk about. I have nothing to do with the rule, but anyway, more than happy to talk about what my thoughts are. But it seems like a lot of people are sort of hoping other tracks get on board, and I do too. So I think that's very good. Well done. Congratulations to everyone involved. Yeah, success. So that's great. All right. So over the course of the night, we had 2 groups, 4 heats. Very simple process how to operate. The heat winners were James Grady, Stuart Jeffries, Jaden O'Toole, and Ben Manson. So those guys picking up their heat wins obviously were the ones that securing the places in the start of the night to who had dominance and so forth. And I thought that the heat sort of ran through relatively with ease. We didn't have any sort of major tear ups, anything like that. So that was a good thing. Then when we moved to the 20 lap feature, I tell you, like I watched both Toowoomba and also I tuned into to Gladstone. And I don't know if anyone else did that, but I'm going to go ahead and say this week Wingless wins hands down on the show. That 20 lap feature was just action packed, second to none. Hats off to everyone involved in that. But at the start of the race, we had the O'Toole brothers on the front row, and I was a little bit curious as to how they're going to handle being side by side. Are they going to give each other a bit of room, or or what was going to happen there. The younger O'Toole brother, Zane, I believe it is, he was parked on the outside, and yeah, he really looked to me like he crowded his brother, Jaden, on the bottom. There was touch made, but nothing really came of it. But still, a touch is a touch, and on the start of the race, I'm sure the parents weren't very thrilled to see that. But they got racing, and they flew down into turn one, and you had Robert Mazza there trying to sniff around to try and find something to make a gain. One thing I did notice as well in the background was like from fourth back to almost 10th, it was just people jostling for positions. They came off turn two, three wide, going down the back straight into turn three. So it was, you knew straight away the track was going to be racy. You're going to see some passing, and it was going to be pretty action packed until it sort of feathered out. Even then, as the race grew on, it didn't sort of go any easier for anybody. It just sort of stayed action packed. So everyone was fighting everybody. The battles just kept sort of coming through the field. There was a 20-lap race, and they made it all the way to lap 16 before they had a caution. The Q17 of Lance Dawson spun out, causing obviously the caution. And as we know, cautions breed cautions. But another one I want to sort of take note on was the NX91 of Indy Butcher. Now, I believe I'm not a familiar person with Indy Butcher, but I believe she's a young racer from the junior sedans division, stepped up to wingless. And she was making some gains throughout the course of that weekend, which was good to see. But unfortunately, I'm not sure what happened to her car, but she'd stopped on the back straight, and that was her done for the night. The restart with 4 to go. This is where it was going to get interesting. Always, if you've run a long race where the cars have started to settle in and spread out and so forth, now you've got 4 laps to go. This is go time. This is where you're going to make or break your night, obviously. And the big one there was the Q4 of Zane O'Toole. Not sure if he had an issue or something like that, but he just didn't look as comfortable on that restart as the other cars looked around him, or even from the original start. But anyway, he went into turn 3 and 4 and sort of went a bit hot on the high side, almost looped it in front of the field. The Q80 of Liam Atkinson was able to get through no problems. That was some good driving on behalf of Liam. But unfortunately, Zane was collected by the father-son duo of Ian Milnes and Ian Milnes Jr. So they had nowhere to go. One went left, one went right, and in doing so, it ripped off the rear crash bar there of Zane O'Toole and put him out of the race. Anyway, we had a restart, 3 to go, and this is probably where, unfortunately, we just took one of the heavy hitters, because at the time, Zane would have been sitting in third, Q4 in third there. So you had the running order was Q52, followed by the N2 of Rob Mazza, and then Zane gone. You had a big battle behind them, which was the Q12 and the Q80, and they were battling for third quite hard, I have to admit. So once we went restart, 3 to go, the battles continued. But we saw the Q12 starting to sort of make his way down. Manson really was trying to get away from the clutches of Liam Atkinson and make his way into get to the top 2. And in doing so, it sort of put pressure on those guys. But when we came to last lap, just for the last lap, Mazza got the lead N2 around the outside of the N52. Going into 1, we'll see here that I don't know if the N52, his brakes didn't work, or maybe Mazza just checked up a little bit to park the bus. But anyway, he got into him, but that didn't affect Mazza, and he was able to get off turn 2 and drive away down the back straight and pull off the win. So hats off to Robert Mazza for the win. Jay O'Toole was home in second. Ben Manson was third. Liam Atkinson fourth, and young Harry Fowler was in fifth there. All in all, I thought it was a really good race. I didn't see anything more about that, but one thing I did like to do was sort of work on who out of the drivers, movers and shakers in the field. It's sort of something I've started to do. I used to, when we used to go away racing, you may not come in top 3 that night, but you sit back and you think, well, hang on, we started like rear of the B, we drove all the way through and won that, and then drove from, back of the A and came home top 5. Like, how many cars did we pass? So I was just sort of seeing who was the past master, as I like to call it, or I think there's probably even a name for it, so I'm just stealing it. But the past master for the night, well, there was 2. There was Bruce Hill, but I got told that Brucey was having a bit of an off night, and he's had a few car problems. But either way, on the stat sheet, Bruce Hill he did the most passes. which is great, fantastic, well done. Doesn't matter how you get them done, you just got to get them done. But the next person, overall person for most pass, oh sorry, Bruce passed 8 in the feature. The person who passed the most over the course of the whole night was Ian Milnes Jr. He passed 9 cars throughout the course of the night. So hats off to those drivers. As much as you guys didn't get on the podium, didn't get a trophy there, I just want to give you some recognition. Well done on your driving. Hats off to you. All right, so this weekend coming up, we've got 3 races. We're going to have Bundaberg Speedway on Saturday night. We're also going to have City International Speedway, as well as Murray Bridge. We'll be opening up the campaign for South Australian Wingless. So I look forward to reporting on those. I'm going to try and see how far I can get along with this deal, but we'll see how we go. But yeah, keep the feedback coming. Tell me what you guys like, don't like, all the rest. Obviously, I don't want to do stuff if it's annoying you, but yeah, just let me know what you think. For those drivers on the weekend, hats off to you guys. It was good you guys put on a show. As I said, I found it more enjoyable to watch than watching the sprint cars on Saturday night. Just yeah, we're still going 3-4 wide, and it's happening. And it's funny, people just want to pretend as if we can't, but we can. So hats off to everyone for the great race. Well done to Queensland Wingless on putting on a fantastic event with your drivers. Well done to Hi-Tec Speedway for yeah, fantastic track. It looked like it was racing all over. Yeah, so until then, guys, take care. See you on the next one.